Okay, so we have this piece and that piece over on the table, and then that little circle one, there's a second one over here. So I'm gonna make two of those off the one. They're the exact same size. And then these do kind of curl in a little bit, but when they curl in, they don't go 100% like straight 90 degrees. So what we're gonna do is, the reason why I cut it a little bit bigger is probably because the outside lip here, when I put the magnet on to hold it flush and I run my tack welds, I'm assuming that it's going to be a little bit larger, which is why I'm going to cut the metal pieces from the templates a little bit bigger. And if I need to modify them and grind them down just a little bit, we can. I'd rather cut them a little bit too big to start with than too small. So we went trail riding earlier today to take some time and spend it with the family. As you can see behind me, we've got the Jeep. We've got some friends out here, and they are stuffed.
Take a picture from the side so you can see she's buried to the axle.
You got a screwdriver?
I've got one in the back.
You stuck, Mike.
What'd you say?
You stuck.
He's stuck.
Stuck.
I was stuck the other time too.
Blurt.
Lord,
All right, so let's go ahead and watch them get themselves out of this nasty mud hole. All right, they're starting to pull themselves out, so we're gonna go ahead and back up just a little bit in case that line snaps. Now he's turned the tires, try to get some traction. Back up, William. Back up. What he's got to do is just stay on the throttle a little bit.
Yeah, I know. Like
winch it.
he's got to creep.
Here he comes. There comes the tortoise. All right. Pray for us. Pray. All right, guys. Now we'll catch up after they get home. All right, so now that y'all saw that, anyway, we are back here in the garage and home from the trail. So we decided to make a trip yesterday to Tractor Supply, and we got some C25 gas because the welder was completely out of gas at all. And like I said, I am not a welder. I really have zero idea of what I'm doing except for what I've already done and what I've read and researched. So we are going to rely on what we have researched so far with the C25 gas and see if that helps. Now apparently the shielding gas is going to help with thinner metal from blowing through, and we have 22 gauge metal. The reason why I went with 22 gauge metal is because when I researched for the Scott Rod panels, they were 22 gauge, and that is, if it's okay with them, it's okay with me, right? I mean, they're the experts. They make perfect panels for all of what they're doing to shave the engine bay. So I went ahead and got 22 gauge sheet metal to cover up the area for the air conditioning and all of that. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since we've posted. I'm sorry for that. There's a couple of reasons that I'll go ahead and tell you right now. After the storm, there wasn't a whole lot of damage here where we are. My brother is down south over in Fort Myers. He was okay. A little bit of damage to his house, and there was a lot of damage to his close friends and whatnot that he has down there. So he's spent a lot of time down there helping them out. I wasn't able to make it, but we do run a dumpster company that I own, and we cover my county, but all of our surrounding counties, and the counties that we cover down a little bit further south that got a little bit of the heavier winds. So needless to say, we've been a little bit busier. We also ended up making, I purchased something to hopefully make the videos a little bit better for you guys, which I'm actually holding in my hand right now. It's one of those gimbal self-leveling sticks. Hopefully make a little bit crisper of a video, make it a little more enjoyable to watch. Which brings me to my next point. Since we haven't been posting a whole lot lately, we've actually gained quite a few new subscribers, and I say quite a few. We're still a very, very small channel, but it is really exciting when I check the account and we've got some new people in there. And if you guys want to comment, you know, tell me what you guys want to see, tell me what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. You know, I'm kind of taking a stab at this. This is just kind of a new thing for me. Working hard to do the best that I can, but helping, it would be helpful with your feedback, you know. Just tell me what's up in the comments, you know, I'll comment back. Tell me, you know, it looks like you're doing pretty good, or looks like you're doing the worst job ever. You know, I can take criticism. Like I said, I'm not a professional at any of this. I've spent a long time turning wrenches on cars. I'm not, you know, completely unfamiliar with that. But anyway, my point is, if you guys want to be interactive, let's do it, you know. So basically, it's a beautiful day outside. I think there's like a 1% chance of rain, and we're gonna get started doing some more welding on the car. For those new subscribers that are just kind of tuning in, maybe you haven't had a chance to go over the other videos. So I am working on a project that I've been looking to do now for a long time. I'm not a stranger to having Mustangs. My most recent one I bought in 2016. I only kept it for a year or two, so it's been about 4 or 5 years since I've owned a Mustang in general. I've had this one now for about a year and haven't had much time to get on it, but that's all changed now, and we've been rocking and rolling on this now, I think, for about a month. I think it's doing pretty good. We're making some pretty good progress. My first Mustang ever, it was when I was 14. It was a 92 Mustang GT hatchback it was Oxford white, and it had the porno red interior. It was a beautiful car. I didn't know what I had when I had it. Not that I butchered it or anything. I changed the interior over to black, did a lot of upgrades to it. If I could have had that car now, I probably would have just kept it bone stock. It did have, for instance, even like the ashtray door worked, had like 100,000 original miles on it. It was an automatic car, 100% down to the stock catalytic converters, the screen and the mass airflow, like stock airbox, stock. It was just a beautiful car. Even the radio had a equalizer on the bottom that you could adjust up and down, which to me is really cool. That was like one of the upgraded things you can get for those cars. So I hope that kind of catches you up. So basically, like, that car was like the pinnacle of Mustangs back in the day. I think that was back in about 2003 or 2004. So to find a car then that was like 12 years old and that kind of pristine stock condition, man, if I only knew then what I know now. But that's kind of my story, my why, and part of my love for Mustangs. I've owned quite a few since then. 2008 GT, 98 GT, 2008 California Special, 2008 GT 500, and then I did have a 4-cylinder notch coupe, but I ended up getting rear-ended by an Excursion in that thing, and I didn't total out the car, but I did tweak the frame. Probably should have kept it. In hindsight, that was a really clean car. It did get fixed and it looked perfect, but I wanted something that was never going to have been hit. At this point, that's just probably not going to happen unless I can shell out a ton of money. Which brings me to another point. If you guys would like to see me go live and kind of talk with me a little bit more about, you know, anything related to Mustangs and ask me some questions or whatever, let me know. It could be cool. I'm willing to do that. So if sounds like something that interests you, let me know. So we are going to be, we've taken the motor out, we've taken the wiring harness out. We're going to be replacing the K-frame, putting in smoothing panels like the sky rod panels, which I know everyone's been waiting for quite a while. We are going to be getting rid of the air conditioning box back there. As I've said, in Florida it gets hot, but this isn't my daily driver. In the winter I can bundle up. In the summer I don't have to drive it, so if it's too hot I won't. If I want to, I will, and I can roll the windows down. If it's raining, I don't care, because I don't have to drive it, so I can wait for a nice day and it's whatever. But I do want a very simple, very clean car. I want crank windows, I want manual mirrors, I want simple. Still want to keep it fuel injected, so I'm not going as simple as a carburetor, but we're gonna make this car super simple, super clean to my capabilities. All right, so with that said, we're gonna get back to working on this thing. I have already started working on some of the smoothing. It looks ugly. I'm gonna fix it, I promise. I told you I'm not that good at this, so don't judge me too hard. I'm gonna turn you around, I'm gonna show it to you, and then we're gonna get right back into it, right back to work. All right, so here you can see my lovely weld job. I did fill in the hole to the right. Now I gotta fill that little one that you see I cleaned up to the left, and the hole down there for the drip. But I did clean up all this here, which was just like this here. So we will finish cleaning up all the holes on the strut towers and keep going. And I'm excited. I am so ready to finally be back to work on this thing. It's been a couple of weeks and I've been extremely busy, so I'm happy. We have had a couple of nice days. So we did take off the top and the doors and everything on the Jeep. I'll walk you around over here. I do have my work truck behind me, so you can see I have been busy, but we're ready to get back to it.
I can't do nothing with you.
Alright guys, so we just got done welding in the rest of the pieces on the firewall, and I've spent time grinding everything down. I'm going to flip you around, show it. I'm going to sit you guys down, and I'm going to talk to you about some body filler that I got to finish it off. We'll finally go over it with some finishing glaze, but I won't be able to do that in this video because I have to go back up to the paint supply and get their glaze putty. I forgot to get it, my apologies, but I'm gonna flip you around, show you what we've done so far, and check it out. So it looks like crap, I know, but we did get that one there plugged in. We did finish that one there, and then this one down here. Let me set you guys down and talk about what we got for body filler. All right guys, so what we have here is USC Garage metal grip filler. Got this from my local paint supply store. It's supposed to have high strength adhesion on aluminum and bare steel. I've never worked with it, but I did find some reviews on it. It says here maximum adhesion. I kind of got the kind of advice from the people that that own the paint supply store, and they told me that this would be a good one to use. We don't have a whole lot to be filling in, so I went with this one. I think it was like $15 or $20. So let's go ahead and get this mixed up. We'll get it on the car, and then we'll follow back up right after and check it out. Before we get started on that, I'm gonna go ahead and Saturday night, I'm gonna grab me a margarita and get to work. That's refreshing. This stuff does stink. I'm gonna go ahead and clean the surface off with some metal prep first, just to make sure we don't have any oils or anything on it, so we got a good adhesion. All right, so the only metal prep that we have is the Pour 15 metal prep. So I'm gonna go ahead and wipe that down really quick, and then we'll get started mixing and spreading. Now guys, there may be a better way to do this. I'm not real sure about it. This is the best way that I know how to do it with what I have. I hit the bare metal down with some, I think 80 grit, so that it would scratch up the surface of the metal enough so that this could have a good mechanical bond. And now we're gonna mix it up after it's all clean. We should be ready to go just to spread this stuff on. We're gonna spread it real thin the first time. I may have to build up the coats just a little bit. There's not a whole lot of surface area to fill in. There's some pinholes and there's a little bit of low spots and whatnot, but not really all that bad. So let's get started on that, and then we'll catch right back up. Okay, so let's let that set up and harden. I'm gonna pause this for now. We'll get back when it's starting to cure, and we'll start sanding on it and see what we got. Probably have to add some more, so let's get to it. All right guys, so I know it doesn't look like it, but it is getting a little bit dark. I'd rather finish this up tomorrow when I can see a little bit better. I don't have any lighting really out here except for the garage, so I'm gonna call it quits on for tonight. I did put about 2 coats. I put one sanded, another one just real fine feathered coats. I think what I'm gonna end up doing is putting on probably, let me turn over here so you can see. I'm gonna put one more on tomorrow and see if I can get away with that before we actually do the final filler. Which again, like I said, that won't be till the next video because I have to go back to the paint supply store. I did end up using a hammer and a punch. I had a couple of high spots that I noticed after I started sanding. I am using this guy here, which is a Durablock It's, I don't know, soft, hard, both. And I got this from the paint supply store too. It kind of beats the plastic ones that you get from like the auto parts store. This is, I guess, more along the lines of what the professionals would use. And I figured if I want the most professional results, I should probably try to use something that they would use. Let me show you real quick what we've done, and then we're gonna wrap it up for tonight and catch up in the morning. So there you have it. Everything has been sanded and filled back in again, and then sanded one more time. You can see where the high spots are. I did punch those down just a little bit, and then sanded back over it again. I actually punched some of them down with the hammer and punch the first time, and then filled it again, and then sanded again. I don't want a really high build of the filler, and I promise you this here is maybe like a 1/16 of an inch. It's really, really, really thin, which I wanted because I don't want it failing in the end. We are going to finish up tomorrow, and then I'll get this video edited and posted. I am tired and I'm excited. This is really my first time ever doing this, and it's not turning out so bad. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And I'm gonna get off here and see you guys tomorrow morning. All right, guys, good morning. And we have finally finished that part of the shaving. I've been out here for a couple hours, and I figured I would just decide to come on out and kind of show you what's going on. So I'm gonna flip you around and show you what we've got. I did put a little bit of primer on it, and I ended up putting the fenders on. Just these are the new fenders that I had. So if you're not familiar, I think 87 to 89, the front fenders, they didn't arch like that in a circle. They kind of came up, flattened out, and then a little bit. And then the 1990 to 93 fenders were supposed to have a little bit more clearance. I happen to have, I got the 1990 to 93 fenders with the car when I got it. The ones that were on here that we took off, one was red in color, the other one was gray to match the rest of the car, but they were rusted where the body moldings attached, and these are completely solid. It just looks like somebody used some grade A household paint, black paint to paint them, so we'll have to strip them down. We'll be doing all that body work anyway lately, but I guess I just wanted to see them on the car, wanted to see that they weren't warped or bent in any way, and to be honest, just motivate me just to see the car kind of back together a little bit. So I just rested them on there. It took me like 5 seconds. It'll take me another 5 seconds to take them off. I didn't bolt them down. The body lines and gaps and stuff aren't anywhere near where they got to be. I just wanted to put them on the car and see what they looked like. So let me turn you around, show you where we shaved off for the AC box, and we'll take a walk around the car really quick. On the front end, just show you the fenders, and then we'll keep going from there. All right, look how freaking awesome that is. I mean, that's like, I am so stoked about this. It came out so good. Like if you, once this is painted, if you didn't know these cars came with that, it's never gonna look like it was there, which was my intention. So I'm super happy about that. It looked like absolute shit when we were doing it. My welds are not that great. My skill level is probably subpar. So if I could do this, guys, you could do it too. So let's take a look over here. These are the fenders. This is just exactly the way that I got them. These moldings are really gnarly. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but they will not be reused. But the sheet metal behind it is perfect. We'll be replacing all the molding anyway with a whole kit from LMR, most likely. But that's it, guys. That's the fenders. Let's come over here. Show you this one. Same thing. I'm assuming they came off the same car, being that they're both painted with the black household grade paint. Looks like. I mean, these things are pretty rough, but they're straight. They just need to be stripped down and have some automotive paint put on them. So anyway, let's get back to it, and I'll probably flip you back around and we'll talk about what we're going to start it on next. I got a really cool surprise for you. Last night I was searching on Marketplace and just kind of seeing what's out there for parts, and stumbled across something pretty cool. So I'm gonna get right into it and show you what we got. I just spent the last about 2.5 hours round trip driving to go get this thing. Met somebody really cool. He's got a Fox coupe that he's working on, and kind of like the same backstory. You know, he's been looking for one for a long time, and unfortunately but fortunately kind of got into it around the same time that I did, with the prices of everything kind of being skyrocketed. He had something that I wanted, and I had something that he wanted, and everything just really lined up perfect. So I'm going to show you what it is that we got. I hope you guys are just as excited as I am. I think that it's going to work perfect for the plans that we have in the future. All right, so we're going to walk over here. I'm going to show you exactly what it is that we got. You ready? Oh yeah. All right, so before I get any hate, I know, you know, we had a tubular GT40 intake, which is to be respected all on its own, but I think for what our plans are, that intake would have been kind of like where our like total gains would have ended, whereas this one is going to begin. Now once we get the whole car put back together, this intake might be a little bit too much for us for right now, but believe me when I tell you, it's gonna be worth it in the end. So that's kind of where my day went. We did have a little bit of work to do earlier, but we did finish up the firewall where the AC box was. Really happy and excited about that. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. It's free. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss when we have new content coming out every single week. Leave me a comment and I will get back to you. Smash that like button for me. It really helps me out. We had a lot of fun today, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.